And now to the conflict in Iran, as American forces are carrying out the most intense strike so far.
Yeah, today military leaders providing an update while also defending the timeline of this operation. Fox 10 Washington correspondent Stephen Goen has the details from Washington. Let's take a look at Alabama politics now. Should the school day start with prayer? You could have the final say at the ballot box if lawmakers pass a bill giving that option. Alabama political correspondent Jessica Umbro is live outside of the State House with the latest on what lawmakers have decided. All right, Jason, thank you. A bright and reportedly loud flashing streak across the sky had thousands looking up and some ducking for cover when debris reportedly rained down from what experts believe was a meteor bursting into flames. You got to see it. Jeremy Roth has it in today's Take a Look at This. Exciting news if you're a Lord of the Rings fan. Another actor looking to possibly reprise an iconic role is Elijah Wood.
In a recent interview, he was asked if he would appear as Frodo Baggins in the upcoming Lord of the Rings prequel movie, The Hunt for Gollum. And according to The Hollywood Reporter, the actor said there's a, quote, good chance that he would once again play The Hobbit, created by J.R.R. Tolkien.
I mean, can you imagine anybody else?
No, I cannot.
As
Not
Frodo?
at this point.
No. Ian McKellen confirmed his own return as Gandalf the Grey. Actor Andy Serkis will reprise his role as the title character. He's also slated to direct. The Hunt for Gollum is due in theaters December 17th, 2027.
And I just feel like with, CG, the advancement in that, and even some actors agreeing to AI, they can make it work.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. That's going to be so fun. I can't wait.
Well, Sinners, one battle after another. Hamnet, the 98th Academy Awards are this Sunday, and one of those movies scored a record 16 nominations. On the latest episode of Living It Up with Lanice, I'm sitting down with two fellow movie fans from Fox 10 News to share our thoughts. We're going to break down the races, the snubs, and share our picks on who's going to take home the gold. So grab some popcorn, join that conversation. Listen now on your favorite podcast app, and if you want updates, you can subscribe to livingitupwithlanice.com.
Well, next up, we're going to dive into those big stories headlining your news at 5.
And then this.
Many experts believe the housing market will stay competitive this year, which means buying a home in 2026 will require one key thing: preparation. In today's Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Rachel DePompa helps you navigate the housing market.
You use those sleep tracking apps?
I don't.
Good, because they may not be effective as you think.
A Cleveland Clinic doctor says sleep trackers carry some benefits. They use a basic technology called an accelerometer, which monitors your sleep, but he warns it's not the most reliable method of sleep tracking and can sometimes even be wrong.
So if you want an accurate look at your sleeping patterns, the doctors recommend a sleep study. That's where your brain activity is monitored while you're sleeping, and the data helps the doctor to determine what stage of sleep you're in and the quality of that sleep.
He recommends not to get too hung up on the daily numbers on your sleep tracking app, but make sure you notify your physician if you spot any alarming trends. All right, we will be right back with more coming up after this. Don't go to sleep. Let's get you caught up on a couple of stories we're working on for your most local news at 5. This is one I'm actually doing at 5. 3 local mothers recently accused of murdering their own children. We're talking with a psychiatrist about this troubling trend and when to know to reach out for help.
Yeah, we also, is it a dessert or a dip?
I'm having to keep together for this one. A Great Wolf Lodge has announced a limited time ranch milkshake. It's actually blended with vanilla ice cream and ranch dressing and comes garnished with crispy chicken, carrots, celery, whipped cream, and a little sweet and salty lime rim.
Because why not? The sweet and tangy edition is available at the Water Park Resort until May 20th. You can get it for $7.99. $8. The closest Great Wolf Lodge would be Columbus, Georgia. I think there's one in LaGrange also. Been to that one. I was telling you, Shelby, my son loved Great Wolf Lodge growing up. They have them all over Michigan, Charlotte. Would not try that. For a number of reasons.
No. I love ranch. I love ice cream. They don't need to be put together, in my opinion.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I never had ranch, and I certainly wouldn't try it in that form. But to each their own. If you try it, we want to know about it, right?
Yeah.
Let us know. Okay, send the information to Shelby. When we come back, meet a woman in Iowa stitching comfort and courage for her patients facing some difficult surgeries. Stay close.
A woman in Iowa is using needle and thread to lift up cancer patients and kids facing some scary surgeries.
Kristen Rogers is showing you how she's stitching together comfort, courage, and community.
Thread by thread, Mary Husband of Millersburg uses her sewing skills to help.
These are hats for kids at the hospital that have to have surgery.
They're given to children at the Stead Family Children's Hospital in Iowa City.
They can't choose to have surgery, but they can choose what hat to go into surgery with.
And these fidget pillows go to the Birdhouse Hospice Home as well as nursing homes.
They can put these on their lap and they can just play with these, and it helps to calm them down.
Mary also makes it easier to socialize over a game of cards.
People at nursing homes can use this. They can still use cards if their hands cannot hold the cards.
And she fixes American flags for the local cemetery, prolonging their life when they start to fray.
Because we want to honor our veterans.
And for the last 6 years, she's sewn 2 to 3 dozen port pillows each month in honor of people who have battled cancer to make car rides more comfortable.
Every time I make them, I just say a little prayer and put them in and take them to the university.
Each port pillow comes with a card.
You buckle your seatbelt and it hurts quite a lot because your strap hits the portocaps in the very same spot. So here's a pillow you put on your seatbelt to cover your port so less pressure is felt. It's made by a friend to help you through. Fight with courage. I'm rooting for you.
Mary credits her parents for teaching her to help others, and she raised her children the same way. She and her husband have spent the last 4 decades answering the page when first responders are needed in Millersburg.
Our ambulance is 15 or 30 minutes away.
Now her daughter and son-in-law are on the team too. Mary is not only making life more comfortable for people through her sewing and saving lives on the quick response team, she also helped breathe new life into the town's ballpark.
It's a place of pride again because we've lost a lot of businesses in town, so now we have the ballpark.
She plays a very important role.
At English Valley Care Center, Mary decorates trees in resident rooms for each holiday.
They're simple, but they sure bring a lot of joy to them.
They're a conversation starter.
Sometimes Mary's granddaughters help with the decorations. Her parents drive to help other people, reaching a 4th generation.
She's got her granddaughters involved in our auxiliary, and they send letters and cards to all the veterans for Veterans Day. And she just is getting them growing up in the same way.
Mary is the fabric of her community.
I don't think things would even happen sometimes if she wasn't there.
Impacting countless lives.
A seamstress gonna say, what the heck?
One stitch at a time.
Myers speaking with a psychiatrist about what could have drove a parent to this point and the warning signs to look for.
And Shelby, tell us what you found out.
Well, Cameron Lanise, Alta Point psychiatrist Dr. Jonathan Todd says we may never know or fully understand why this happens, but there are factors that can play a role. Now, we do want to warn you, the details of these cases are very disturbing.
They are the headlines that shake a community. Mothers accused of murdering their young children. In Enterprise, Adrienne Reed is charged with capital murder in the death of her 2-year-old daughter, Genesis. Police say apartment surveillance video shows Reed dumping a duffel bag in a dumpster. Genesis' body believed to be inside. In Pensacola, Jalinda Smith is accused of dumping her 5-year-old son, Jacaden, in a trash bag along Lillian Highway. Jacaden was nonverbal and had autism. Deputies say his body was emaciated, weighing just 20 pounds. And in Milton, April Oliva stands accused of stabbing her 6-year-old daughter, Valerie, to death. Her mugshot shows stitches across her neck, where deputies say she attempted to take her own life as well.
Despite the fact that we do have these recent stories in the news, that this is exceedingly uncommon. These are really rare, typically isolated cases.
Dr. Jonathan Todd is a child and adolescent psychiatrist with Alta Point in Mobile. He works closely with children, parents, and families. He says while cases like this are rare, there are factors that could contribute.
Maternal and paternal stress definitely impacts, their ability to cope with the rigor of childcare. Right, it's a taxing job, especially for young parents and young children, and the mental health of the parent in question. Right. So I think of things like the postpartum period, mothers who are experiencing postpartum depression or postpartum psychosis, detachment from reality, suicidality. In many cases like this, parents will often seek to hurt themselves and then potentially seek to hurt other people around them. And then, environmental factors, stress in the household, domestic violence. Violence in the home is definitely a big predictor for more violence.
Dr. Todd says there are also warning signs to watch for in friends and family members.
Parents start talking about the struggles that they might deal with raising a child. It's one thing to say that this is challenging. It's another thing to say that this is hopeless, that I can't do this anymore, or potentially anything that might indicate suicidal thoughts. But statements like that, I can't raise this child anymore. I don't want this child anymore, or I'm a failure as a parent. Those kinds of things. In isolation, I think it's easy to kind of dismiss those thoughts, but it could be an indication of a bigger underlying problem.
And if you're a parent who is struggling, Dr. Todd says it's not hopeless.
If you feel like you're a failure, right? There are resources out there, but recognizing that you need help is the first step, and being willing to accept that. Again, recognizing that this is not a parental failure. This is a mental health struggle.
And so again, if you are watching this right now and you might be struggling with depression, you can call or text 988. And specifically, if you're a mother who needs help, you can call or text the Maternal Mental Health Hotline. That number is 1-833-TLC-MAMA. A trained counselor will listen and offer help. In the studio tonight, Shelby Myers, Fox 10 News.